Hello, Professor Paget and classmates. This is my week 7 video. This week, our topic was heavily based on politics, and I can't really discuss politics in any sort of particular without thinking about my best friend, Maggie. And she is without a doubt who I would have liked to interview for this video. Unfortunately, Maggie passed away about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, in a car accident. So I wish I could have introduced you guys to her. Just for a little visual, I'd like to show you here's a picture. Yeah, this is her and I at my 23rd birthday party. So Maggie was my best friend for 18 years, and we met when we were about 13. But even at that young age, she was very engrossed with politics. She wanted to be a political science major. She talked about it, although she never really followed through. But she did work really young. I want to say as soon as she was 18, 17 maybe, she was working for local campaigns, knocking on doors, handing out flyers, that sort of thing. The thing I loved about Maggie is that she never really identified one way or another with a particular political party. She was always incredibly about the issues, very independent, very it didn't matter to her what the party was so much as the character of the person who was running. And she always was very diligent about doing her homework and finding out about candidates and finding out about the issues and knowing the real stories behind the stories. She was very anti fake news. She used to get very riled up about like fake news kind of issues. This last campaign, it was just so much fun talking to her about everything that was going on. She always had opinions. And I used to just call her and ask her who I should vote for, because she just always knew she could explain things. I just, tell her, Maggie, I don't get this particular issue, or I don't understand this particular subject, and she would just dive right into it. She knew so much when it came to politics, and honestly, I would compare Maggie to kind of a modern day Dorothy Day. I remember I bought her a book about Dorothy Day once, and she ate it up. She loved who she was as a social activist. Maggie was very much about social justice, and in a way that was just really, it was really about love. In fact, it's one of the last conversations that I had with her. We were talking about politics. We did often, and she just kind of started talking about how people need to just stop picking sides, how scared she was of just the polarizing nature of the media, of just our society today, how everyone is so against each other, and the two sides are so extreme, and she was very saddened by that. And her sort of take on life and politics was, really that we just need to love each other. And that was one of the last things she said, is that people just need love, and people need mercy, and sometimes people need a hand up. Sometimes people just need to be shown compassion. Sometimes people just need to be forgiven, and that we have an opportunity. She was very much about getting involved at a community level, and just serving those around you, whether that be, going to a retirement home and visiting someone who just needed company, or whether it was volunteering at an after-school program. She had a big heart, and she was very much about changing the world, one person at a time. And I think that that's something that is missing dramatically from politics these days. It just doesn't seem really so much about, focusing on just the real life person in front of you. It's more about just making the biggest noise, um, being in the center of the stage, getting the most media attention. Um, it's always hot topics that are, kind of being blasted, and not just the small stories about people in communities just helping one another and trying to make each other's lives better. And that was what my friend Maggie was all about. She was the kind of person that would literally take the shoes off her feet and give them to someone else that needed them. Um, she never ran for politics herself. I like to believe that if she was still around, that was something that she would have eventually gotten to. She would have been really good at it, because she was just very fair and just. And I just wanted to share a little bit about her with you guys this week. So thanks for listening.